Go over, kids. Today I'm going to tell you why Nintendo was forced to do the presentation they did at E3. By now E3 is over, it's long and done, and it seems like I personally loved it. But after the fact, I went on and checked out other people's reviews, I looked at comments on my own videos, and I looked at Twitter. Now, Twitter is always going to be negative. It's going to be 90% negative and 10% positive. So you gotta take Twitter with a grain of salt. But I think on this day, Twitter was 92% negative. So even some of the positive feedback that Twitter usually gives was on the more negative side towards Nintendo's presentation. Now everyone agrees that Smash Brothers is looking absolutely phenomenal, and it's gonna be a grand slam, home run, touchdown, everything, 3-point shot, I don't know, hat trick. It's great. It is great. That's the extent of my sports knowledge other than wrestling. I actually like wrestling, but not anything else. Hope you still following me after that comment. But anyways, Smash looks great. However, people are complaining right now that there was too much Smash Brothers and not enough everything else. They're complaining, and some of the points are valid, and some of them I don't feel are not. Some of my subscribers, they made some points like, where was Yoshi? Where was Metroid? I was hoping for games like Animal Crossing. That's valid. And the hoping thing, like I was hoping for a Zelda game. I was hoping for Animal Crossing. In fact, I really expected Animal Crossing, especially since they just did Pocket Camp. So I was very disappointed there, but, you know, what are you going to do? I don't think my subscribers were, like, complaining. They were just telling me what they had hoped for, and that's perfectly okay. I was hoping for a lot of things. I was actually hoping for a sleeper hit from the past Advance Wars to come back, and it didn't, much to my sadness. And the disappointment of Fire Emblem being pushed to 2019, well, that's real. I was hoping for Fire Emblem. I really liked it. They announced it last year. It looked like they were kind of far along. It didn't happen. Yoshi being not even mentioned, yeah, that I think is a very legit complaint. And also the fact Bayonetta 3 doesn't seem to have gotten mentioned. I think Bayonetta 3, Yoshi, and Metroid 4, and maybe even the Pokemon core title should have got some kind of mention. And it would have been nice, though, had Animal Crossing's got a shout-out as well. So those 4 titles, though, that I previously said, because they had already been talked about, and they were talked about even at the last E3. Maybe not Bayonetta 3. Bayonetta 3 might have been talked about at the Direct in January, but all 4 had been mentioned before, so I think it would have been nice and very good to have given those mention. But let's move past that. So those are legitimate concerns. Now, the reason why Nintendo was forced into the situation they were in when they had to just showcase Smash Bros. Because did Nintendo have to tell us that Marth, his voice changes with 2 outfits? Ooh, with 2 outfits? Nah, they didn't have to. I mean, they didn't have to show us anything, really. And wouldn't it have been nice if we got to see some more other than Splatoon and Ridley? Ridley being probably the... I don't know if that was the highlight of the whole presentation. I think it was for me. It was either that or the moment they said Snake popped back in and said, every character is back. Because that's huge. Every single character. We get them all back. So I loved that. And it was disappointing to see Bomberman only a trophy. And then everybody else was disappointed when they saw Waluigi was only a trophy. And do yourself a favor, look up Waluigi memes right now, because his fan base, oh man, they're making the funniest memes about their disappointment. And I'm not making fun of them, I'm just like, what they are making is what is funny. But here's the deal. Why didn't Nintendo spotlight something else? Why didn't they really go overboard with showing us other things? And the reason why I think it is, well, you know, I gotta apologize because I think it's partly my fault. And it's partly anyone's fault who looked at a spoiler. You see, I did a video a couple weeks back, maybe even just a week ago, that I guess there was a sign company who somehow dropped the ball and dropped an order form, and that order form had 9 games on it. And those 9 games, one of them was Mario Aces, so we already knew that was coming, but 9 games, and Monster Hunter also was on that. So that means 9 games, 7. 7 of those games were complete unknown games that were coming to the Nintendo Switch. Third-party games that were coming to the Nintendo Switch. And they were of the likes of Fortnite, Paladins, Killer Black Queen, FIFA 19, Overcooked 2, and Dragon Ball, a Dragon Ball fighter game, and I forget number 7, and then Monster Hunter and Mario Aces, which we already knew those 2 were coming. But here's the thing, that's 7 big drops. Imagine just Nintendo could spend 2 minutes a piece on 7 of those titles, those 7 titles. That would have taken 14 minutes off the Smash Brothers reveal. Maybe 13 minutes, because those titles then only got like 10 seconds apiece. Fortnite, I got a full trailer, but nothing huge. And come on, you're telling me that Fortnite would not have gotten a solid 5 to 6 minutes on this Nintendo Direct? Nintendo literally probably lost money holding it out to E3 so they could announce it at E3, and then some dummy drops the ball, drops the order form, and then somebody posts the picture and puts it on Twitter, and boom, it's all over the internet. And hey, I'm guilty. I am guilty. Even though I did the video, and even though I said, if you don't want to see spoilers, but hey, you know what? I didn't want to see spoilers, but when I was given the opportunity, I did not have the self-control, and I looked at it, and right then and there, we knew Fortnite was coming. And Paladins, they were forced, and they tried to make the best of a bad situation, but they were forced to release early. Some non-ceremoniously just put it on the eShop one day and said, hey, the day before we're going to be live and ready to play. And then Overcooked 2, a game that that would have been like a very nice surprise at me at E3, when I would have been like, oh, Overcooked. And you know Nintendo was going to do something big for Overcooked, because they actually gave it a sentence, I think. And then Dragon Ball Fighter, that game it was part of the sizzle reel. These games were regulated to nothing because the news had already been out. Had Nintendo given these games 14, 16, 20 minutes combined, everyone would have been like, oh, we already knew that. Whatever, we already knew that. So what they were forced to do was lengthen the Smash Brothers. They had the material to do it. People wanted to see Smash Brothers anyway, so Nintendo couldn't give the proper respect to the games that had been leaked because it was old news. E3 is supposed to be all new. It sucked. It really did suck, because Killer Black Queen should have got more, even if it had been real. A lot of people don't know about Killer Black Queen. I didn't know about Killer Black Queen until the leak, and I went and had to watch footage on YouTube, and now I'm really pumped about it. I wish they would have done more at E3, even after the leak, but what are you going to do? People like me spoiled it for Nintendo's E3, and so their E3, they were forced to do a long Smash Brothers because of me, and I apologize. It's my fault. And granted, it's really like it's all our faults. We shouldn't have looked, or I just wish that person wouldn't have posted it. Things would have been different. Nintendo's Direct would have been different. And here's the thing: also, there's other contributing factors because. For one, I think they were trying to get Smash Brothers. They were pushing Smash Brothers through so much. I bet they took, this is all speculation, that it looks like Nintendo took resources from other parts of their company to make sure Smash, with every character, because, I mean, that's like 64 characters. That's insane amount of characters. And granted, a lot of them were, all of them are returning, and they've only revealed 2 new ones, and then also an echo of Daisy. But I mean, that's a lot of resources. So they probably started taking from other places within their company. So a lot of the people who were trying to pound out Yoshi probably got taken off their project and put on Smash Brothers, which I could see happening. And then something like Fire Emblem was probably pushed back to 2019 so it didn't get rolled over. Because if you were going to kill the momentum of Fire Emblem, which is just starting to see inroads in the Americas, in North America, I mean, come on. What are you going to do? Put Pokemon, then Fire Emblem, then Smash Brothers? Yeah, we wouldn't care. No one would care about Fire Emblem. I'm a Fire Emblem fan, and I wouldn't care about Fire Emblem if it was caught between Pokemon and Smash Brothers. So it's probably a business decision on Fire Emblem, but a practical decision about Yoshi. But they could have at least dropped, I do admit, they could have dropped Yoshi's name, like, oh, we're pushing it back to 2019. Now there's a chance, because Nintendo also, don't forget, Nintendo Directs happen throughout the year. They've already done like 3, not including their Labo announcement, and then they do an E3 Direct, so we'll probably get a Summer Direct, a Fall Direct, a Christmas Direct, a Pokemon Direct, a Smash Brothers Direct, so things are coming. Even an online Direct will probably happen. That would have been nice also, now that I think about it, to talk about their online service, even if it was just a 3-minute commercial. So there were faults, but I love Smash Brothers. I'm not a purist, but I loved it. I did not even see any real problems until I read about them after. So it doesn't really affect me, but I do see it a little different 26 hours later, where I'm like, okay, yeah, I see that. Yeah, valid concern, valid criticism. Nothing's perfect. Nintendo did a bang-up job, in my opinion. It was kind of a Breath of the Wild type one, where they had to showcase just one game. They could only showcase Smash Brothers because the wind had been taken out of the sail of Dragon Ball Warriors or whatever it is and Killer Black Queen and Fortnite. Come on, they definitely would have given so much attention and love to Fortnite had it not been spoiled. And that's another thing. Nintendo doesn't do what Sony does, where they, like Sony announced last year, and it was a huge part of their show, the Spider-Man game, and then it never came out. This year they did Spider-Man again at their E3. Nintendo, they did what, a 15, 20-second clip of Metroid 4 last year? They're not going to showcase 5 minutes of a game that's not going to come out until 2020. And yeah, it would have been nice, though, to get just a little bit more of Metroid. Maybe even just an extended, small trailer. But they are Nintendo's very reserved when it comes to being too far out with their games. They don't like to delay a game, but they're willing to. So they just have a different mindset when it comes to Sony and Microsoft, who will announce a game 5 years out, and then we just keep waiting and waiting and waiting. So that's why I feel Nintendo's E3 is being judged a little too hard, but I'm also seeing it through rose-colored. I always look at Nintendo usually through rose-colored glasses, so I think that my opinion of Nintendo's E3 needs to come down a little, while everybody else's needs to come up a little. Maybe we can meet in the middle. And if nothing else, the pleasant surprise I had, though, was A, Ridley, and B, Mario Party. Mario Party, I'm like, yeah, buddy. I'm excited again, and I haven't been excited about Mario Party for a very long time. So, it is dangerous to go alone. Please share this with a friend and let me know, what do you think about my point of view on what I'm saying? Do you think that maybe Nintendo was kind of pushed into a corner here, and that because of that release, that leak of Fortnite and FIFA and Killer Black Queen, that makes sense what I've said there, and maybe also they drew some resources from other departments in order to get Smash Brothers out by December 7th? So let me know. I'd appreciate it. Dangerous to go alone? Please share this with a friend.